Good day.
Good day.
Yeah, so here we sit.
Yes.
Monarch of State Sweden and me, Ditta of Godland. And I'm here to present our fabulous success in proclaiming new era in the Baltic Sea region and the world. And we have established new leadership both in Sweden
Yes.
and in Latvia. So I'm not only Ditta of Godland, I'm now also President of State Latvijas Republika.
And I'm not only Leif of Godland, but now also Leif of State Sweden.
And Monarch of State Sweden.
Sorry, Monarch of State Sweden.
And I am President of State Latvian Republic, or Republic of Latvia. So, and these two states are on the both sides of Baltic Sea, where there are 9 nations, 9 states around Baltic Sea, which all of them are in our indigenous world order, as all countries are, but only in the state of Latvian Republic I am the president, and only in Sweden
I am the monarch.
Yeah, so that is how we are decentralizing the corporation New World Order and taking each one puzzle piece to create indigenous order in it through the current structure of state.
Yes.
And I have been living in Latvia for 7 years, from 2009 to 2016, and doing enormous work in restoration of structures of real state that really existed between 1920 and 1940, when the state Latvijas Republika, Republic of Latvia, had its own central bank, its own banks that were commercial banks, its own court system, and even education, and it all was patriotic and national. And we had a fabulous leader called Kārlis Ulmanis, and we had fabulous professors that are well known as Kārlis Balodis, who created the coupon system that saved millions of people during the Second World War, and the rationing system that we so much need now when we have foreign military troops, 100,000 in the Baltic Sea region, but the governments have not prepared rationing system.
They have prepared nothing for the public, for the people. They have been saying for years that it's the people's own responsibility to prepare for bad times, and at the same time they keep so many people on just the minimum survival level, so it's practically impossible for a big part of the people to do more than just survive barely.
Yeah, and most of all, they have been also fooling people, telling that nothing bad can happen to you. We live in euphorical, wonderful peace times where war is impossible.
Yeah, and the economy is flourishing and
Flourishing.
and nothing is to worry about.
It's like living in the
La,
fake
la, la.
reality, into where everything is lies. When you sort of, it's unbelievable. But in reality, we live in a system where corporations can commit any crimes, absolutely any crimes, and we have no possibility to charge them.
No, there is a glass ceiling that protects certain big corporations that are allowed to do things that a small corporation would, the owners would go to jail for years. Where big corporations, when they do the same thing, it's just glossed over.
Yeah, and what we have also aimed at by becoming leaders of these states and indigenous network is that we really want to save the states.
Yes.
Because they are being abolished by the transnational corporations.
Yes. It's what happened in Latvia, here in Sweden, in the 1974 government. What's it called? The regeringsform, the government, the constitution of 1974 that went into effect 1st January 1975. There they had corporized the Swedish system.
The Swedish state.
The Swedish state
got broken into pieces of corporations.
Yes, and it's gotten worse since somewhere in the 80s. It's got even worse. So a lot of things. It's obvious even for someone who doesn't see the big picture when certain things is broken out into regular companies or trusts, and they get power as government. But the whole government, every government agency is registered in corporate registers.
Yeah, in business.
In business.
It's like business.
And they even have to send in their yearly annual reports to business overseers. I know that I've looked at it myself. They send it to the United States Securities Exchange. They even declare what happens with the people, how many new people there are, education, lots of things. They report to their masters how they handle the property that is the people.
And it is even being sold on stock markets in London and New York.
Yes.
The bonds of people.
Well,
people
not
the bonds.
Not in Sweden, not the individual people, but
Yes,
as a mass.
Everybody is bonded.
We have really searched for any connection to the individual, but we have the connection to the mass. They declare the mass of the people.
Yeah, but it is your personal numbers that they have in the stock.
Okay. Well, they have leaked most information about most Swedes to alien countries just recently through the transport agency. They leaked everything, to almost everything.
You mean foreign countries?
Foreign, yeah, alien foreign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what we do, we are trying to restore real states that are owned by inhabitants of the states.
Yes.
And
Of the nations, inhabitants of the nations.
yeah, and to make them again to be the property, that when the state is the property of its people, when it is the resource that we share together. And I will name again the name of Kārlis Balodis, because he had counted out that if there is such a state established, then not one person in the state needs to work more than a couple of years in its 100-year-long life. A couple of years you have only to work in your 100-year-long life. If this state is established and it divides the resources evenly to its people.
And not to foreign corporations to wage war in foreign countries, creating destitute people in foreign countries coming here looking for somewhere to escape the destitution and the war, and making us even poorer.
Everybody gets poorer and poorer, and all this profit just gets erased.
Exactly.
It just gets erased.
And it's the plan to erase the profit.
So everybody is poor and unhappy and just depopulate our lovely, beautiful, miraculous earth.
So we want to abolish the war economical system, the feudal system that became the war economical system, that has all the time been working to use the people as resources for someone else, rather than the resources being for the people.
Yeah, and it is done through the fraud. And you can go into dnb.com and look at their webpage, where they sort of have the register of all the companies that work in their grid of New World Order. And it even says in one page there that they forge the institutions for great profit. They openly tell you this. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and in the Securities and Exchange, they do the same.
They just forge the governments into corporations and make occupation. They occupy the whole planet to steal the resources and practically destroy them through war.
Yeah, and they use secrecy agreements. They keep certain things, official secret acts, and government cooperate. What we call government today, cooperate with international corporations, and they have things that if we try to find out about them, maybe we break some of their laws, so that they, according to their law, could throw us away for life in prison. So it's very difficult to really find out what they're doing. They're not reporting to you and me.
Yeah, and it is a police state that is generally working to create this mass murder. And now we are at the peak of it, and there is an enormous mass murder going on in the United States through Hurricane Irma. That is just destroying the fabulous resources, and it is all technically orchestrated by the HARP, through satellites, through military space invasion.
We have to assume that they're doing it because they have so many secrets. They have the technology, they have the patents, they have everything, and we have to assume that it's what they're doing when everything happens so well timed.
Just statistically impossible to have the same timing also when they're having these Aurora and Baltic coast exercises to train with Zapad to play the Third World War, to again try to kill as many Europeans as possible by putting them against each other, and then having the World War by weather manipulation, and North Korea and Syria, and you name it. It's like
everything happens at once.
Yeah, and they have been telling that they want to have this Third World War, and after this Third World War they are planning to have the rest of population chipped and brain attached to your gadgets of mobile phones.
Brain and trained.
Yeah. Brain and trained they have already done through these parliaments that are sort of changing all the time the laws, and you have to obey them. So they really biorobotize you through parliaments. You have to obey some very strange people who sit there and make laws, and you have to all the time change yourself because they have changed the laws.
Yeah, and there are so many laws that
it is the total brainwashing.
It's actually impossible not to break any laws, because no one is capable of knowing all the laws.
Because they are a totally criminal system. It's biorobotization of people.
Yes.
By one entity that is called Parliament, and it's a criminal structure, and all that has to be dismantled as nuclear war systems. Those are criminal nuclear war systems that have led us to this apocalyptic event that Putin has already activated perimeter 11 nuclear war missiles. Because he is threatened by all this he's surrounded by NATO forces from all sides. And nevertheless, it's not he really, but it is this game of playing the war to destroy the last free people and to biorobotize everybody and chip. So
we have a solution, and that is just to cut off all the agreements that they have made by criminalizing their whole corporate war economical system and introducing Godland.
Yeah, and so we have a nice solution, and we have even our own money. And here we have the bank, and it is called Baltic Sea Indigenous Bank, that holds this tally stick pair as this amount on it is 1 quadrillion in Roman numbers. And I have both sticks in our bank, as the one side of the stick I creating 1 quadrillion Baltic indigenous runes, and I as a creator behold it. And the other stick side goes to the bank, that is the receiver of it. So here in this place we have both sticks, while it is so nice for you to see how they function. So you write both parts of agreement. Here you have your special signature burned sigil, and here inside you write the number that you have emitted. And here is the number in the accounting.
And it's impossible to forge because since they are cut from the same piece of wood
and split in the middle.
Split, and the only one that might conceivably have an interest in making the number larger, you can't make it smaller, but the one who could make it larger, that one just owes more money. So.
Yeah, and you can find the paper oxa on loveorder.info, and you can get monthly income if you become a Godlander and learn the rights of Godlanders, and start to introduce this in your local society.
So this is what we replace the debt money system with.
Yeah, but you have to do the work, you see. We have only created the methodology and we stand here to proclaim it. But you have to make the work for your local community to become healthy and work to establish indigenous court of 9 people who can hold court to create order in the conflict and management situations. And as well, you need to start to print oxa money.
Yes, because you don't have to use tally sticks. You can use it on paper or coupons or something else.
That's right. And you have to attach it to your local warehouses to the resources of food and household. So we have to do the organization work to get our power back.
And get away from those banks that control the governments.
And create wars and have these dreadful plans for all living. It's just, we can't accept that.
No.
And we will get out of this trap. Although it is a horrid, automatized, computerized and scientifically worked out trap.
Yes, it's a very bad trap, and they have been they have tricked us because in the Bretton Woods agreement there was a time limit and the resources was going. They promised that the resources were going to the people, and it hasn't happened.
Yeah, they promised that just to get us into this trap, as usual. Just as they promised European Union would be such a nice peacetime, and just to get you into the central banking biz.org trap.
But you can't trust. We can't keep trusting people who keep fooling us.
No, we have to stop doing that, and we have seen the ugly teeth of the beast, and now we will manage ourselves, our lives. So don't listen to lawyers, don't listen to corporate media. Just remember that Carlis Balvod is counted, that nobody needs to work more than 2 years in 100 years life if we share the resources evenly and don't let them burn out. And that was 100 years ago.
Yes.
Now, if we create a healthy wealth management, we wouldn't have to work more than some months if we switched each other on the jobs. Of course, we would work always because we like to see the results of our work. But we're talking the labor that is not so pleasant and not so enjoyable, that also has to be done.
Yes.
That is fabulous. And imagine all the work that shouldn't be necessary to do if war economy wasn't the goal.
Yeah, there would be no need to keep creating bombs to destroy resources.
And then to start building them again and again and again after everything is destroyed. Yeah, so we're looking for some wonderful times.
Yes.
And we will furthermore give you some court decisions in next video. And then we furthermore read up proclamation documents that you will be able to find. And we will also read up the stand down orders to NATO and Russia and all other military corporations of the world. So don't go away, keep up with us.
Yes.
May the gods be with us.
May the gods be with us.